On here. All right. Now we're going to go into iPluggers a little bit, and we're going to go play some music. You know, every show we play a couple of shows on iPlugger, a couple of songs on iPluggers. So let's go see what kind of new releases we have. Okay. First song we're going to listen to is a song called Song to Rock. Okay. The name of the group is A Truth Called Nothing, and they're from Sweden. I'm having trouble with this one. Let's see what they sound like.
Guitar for about 7 years.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was... Let's make sure that I'm...
Truth Called Nothing?
A Truth Called Nothing, but you have to turn on your microphone if you want to be heard.
That's very true. The Truth Called Nothing.
That's the name of the band, and the song was Song to Rock. Whatever. No comments. Let's go see what else we got here. One more song we're going to play.
Yeah, I think we're almost ready to call it quits.
Quits?
Yeah, well, we
started.
We can't keep doing this by ourselves here. Nobody is calling in.
Okay. The next song is called
I can read that anyway.
Madness. And the group is from the United States. And the song is called Never Given Up. Let's hear it. Never Given Up by Madness.
Me and Miss Sandy, we riding on this one, and we ain't never giving up. Picture a beautiful place with long-lasting smiles on her face. No cold case to trace, no wanna-be superior race. Am I dreaming? Suddenly you're waking by someone screaming. Now I'm back in the midst of a public that's pushing crack. Doors are split. Visions of this whole world addicted. Portions of my populated family being convicted. Passion for peace in the streets possessed by the beast. Temptations is the biggest problems of those that cease. Hit the flow. Desperate attempts not to be poor, paranoid about a major conspiracy. Matter of fact, I'm sure cause we want more. It's necessary in these days and times. Corrupt trust, critical lives and hard crimes. Only the strong survive in the coldest of the nights. Cities of broken glass.
Hello? Hello, area call 407. Can you hear me?
Yeah, man. How you doing?
Hey, who's this?
This is Ed, your anti-Fed friend.
I didn't hear you the first time. I'm a little deaf sometimes. Let me just finish up this song that we were playing. It's from iPluggers.
Well, you don't have to.
All right.
We don't have to because it's just at the beginning anyway. So what?
No, we'll play it later. So what's going on?
going on?
Not too much, man. Kaepernak and his buddies. Well, Kaepernak's playing Monday, but he's got a couple of buddies that are going to actually be participating in his little protest.
I know. He's got Brandon Marshall and a strong leaning on the Seattle Seahawks team. So who the heck knows what's going to happen?
Yeah, but this shouldn't be done on September 11th no matter what. Just the wrong day to do it.
Yeah, well, you could say a lot of things. I mean, you can say that they should, it's the wrong day to have slavery. It's the wrong day to have 2 million people locked up in prison. It's the wrong day to have, a myriad of people got to speak when they feel they got to speak, man.
Well, one thing.
Start speaking.
One thing.
Not spoke at all.
Well, that's true. I mean, it's the Constitution says you do have a First Amendment right to express your opinion. Brandon Marshall carried it one step further than Kaepernak because we just saw on the news today. He said he's not anti-military, he's not anti-police or anything like that, and his foundation is going to donate to various organizations to prove that, but he just felt that this was his way of exercising his First Amendment right to protest. What I'm surprised about is that you haven't heard from the NFL, okay, and you haven't heard from any of the owners. None of the owners on Denver and none of the owners from the 49ers. No one has put out any statements at all.
NFL has been moving down the road, trying to get more. The owners have been trying to get more black coaches involved, trying to become more politically correct, and through the last, 10 years, because they were getting the jab, there weren't, races, trying to act a little of that. Are no black owners. Kind of like caught in a hard place. They kind of, they want Giselle to come down after them, probably in a way, but in a way they're like saying, well, then they're going to come on and call us racist. So they're tough about it. And, I think that what's going to happen, they're going to eventually, if it turns out that many players do it for quite a few weeks, they will probably have to make a ruling on it. But, if they just go to, they say,
You're,
I'm sure even
you're
some
breaking.
coaches even.
You're breaking up. Where are you calling? You're breaking up quite a bit. Where are you calling from?
I think Tampa.
We try,
No,
yeah, well,
you,
Orlando area. Actually.
Yeah, yeah.
Between Tampa and a little
because
bit north.
you're breaking up.
Could you do us a favor? Could you hang up and call back again?
You got a really bad connection. You're just
everything
breaking
is
up
breaking
tremendously.
up.
Okay,
Thanks a lot. We'll be waiting.
All right, great. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll
That was Ed
from
Orlando, and I do remember him.
Yeah, I believe he's
States' rights and
state rights. Yeah,
he's called into the show quite a few times.
A libertarian, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
How you doing? Here
Okay.
he is.
All right, let's see now. Okay, let's go.
You're
let's
having
go.
trouble with your...
Yeah, my... here we go now.
Okay.
All right.
Hello, how we doing?
Oh, that's
you
great.
sound great
What a
now.
difference.
All right.
That's good. Yeah, sometimes you get them connections. I'm kind of out in the country, too. It might hit the wrong tower or something.
Yeah, we're just saying...
here... Yeah, I was saying that the coaches and especially the owners, that they've been accused of being racist themselves because of no black coaches, and they're getting some more black coaches now, but of course there's no black owners, and they kind of want to tread on this thing really very carefully. Very carefully they want to tread on it.
I happened to pass a remark also when I was discussing this earlier, and I mentioned it to Felix, that I'm surprised, even though it's the end of the baseball season, and we do have many foreign baseball players, from the Dominican Republic, from all over, that it hasn't spread that much in baseball.
Yeah, well, baseball, they see it a lot different than football players do. You know what I'm saying? Football players aren't coming from all these other countries.
That's it.
What they're demonstrating is what's going on in our country. Football players are pretty American-born, American-raised, and most of the blacks, that are there, probably at least 60 or 70% of the African Americans came from a very poor situation. Kaepernak, he had to be dropped or adopted by white parents and raised by white parents. Sort of like the Orr story. Orr's still playing. That's the one on the movie The Blind Side.
Yeah, right.
You might have heard that movie.
Oh, sure.
Seen that movie. But a lot of these kids come from very bad backgrounds and very terrible things.
Well,
and they're just voicing the truth. I mean, to say that our government reservation complex, with this education system, Section 8 housing, and poor education system is doing our young children right in the inner cities. Everybody knows they're not.
Okay, we've got another. We've got another caller.
Reservation by the Democrats and Republicans, and that's a bad place to be.
On the
you
news,
would not want to live.
No, I know.
In the heart of the beast. If I put you there for one day, you'd say, "Get me out of here. This is worth."
Well, I'll tell you.
And then
when I taught in the inner city, and
yeah, but you didn't go into the Section 8 housing and live there.
No, we didn't live there.
But I taught in Section 8 schools, in Title I schools.
I understand.
And the bottom line is, they look at it as a dumping ground. There's just no way out. Okay, now, one of the things that they said on the news today about Brandon Marshall, they said his father was imprisoned. He was a tough guy, used to beat him. He said he managed to pick himself up and work on his athletic skills, got a free ride to University of Nevada. Okay, and what O'Reilly was saying, basically, was that this can only happen in America. No other country is going to afford this to somebody where he gets 4 free years of college, just to play football, and he's fortunate enough to make it to the pros, and he just signed a $32 million 5-year deal. Okay?
By the way, we